Greetings from Snake Mountain Boat Works on Friday, December 30, 2016. The 17-foot 1959 Chris Craft Sportsman is really unfriendly right now. Could you imagine trying to sit on that surface? RJ and I kept count of the toothpicks. Actually, all we could do is the boxes of toothpicks that went into this hull below the waterline. And at this point, we have used 10 boxes, 1,500 toothpicks to a box, and 2 pints of Gorilla Glue. But she's toothpicked. She's at her porcupine stage. We've let the glue cure, and we will shortly get out the Fein Multimaster tool and give her a shave. Now, why didn't we put toothpicks here and here and here? Well, this row all the way up in between the rows that we did, the screws pass through the outside and into the short intermediate battens. So we still have before us toothpicking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 times 2 battens. That's 32 when I do arithmetic. RJ will give you a sense of what we're talking about here.
These are the battens that go inside. This is one that actually goes back in this area, and they're screwed from the outside boards in. To keep the 5200 from actually seeping when we cover this with 5200 after we get all this cut off, to keep the 5200 from going down through these holes and down into the hull of the boat and on the floor and wherever, I'm going to take a countersink and put a couple holes here and line up the old screw holes. I'm going to toothpick all of these before they go in and scrub them up and get them clean, and then countersink a couple screws to hold them in place. That way they'll be right tight to the plywood and will hold any 5200 from going down through.
Right tight to the inside of the plywood. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. And then these holes, which RJ has already dealt with, it was Chris Craft's practice to run these they're about 1/2 inch, right?
1/2 to 3/4.
Yeah. Number 6s, maybe? It's hard to tell.
I think there's 6 pan heads, but they're old, so they're actually a little smaller than your
current 6.
Current 6.
Yeah. And we, RJ and I, withdrew every single one of these from the inside of the bilge, and once we have the planking reinstalled, every one of these will be sunk one more time into that planking. I think it's overkill because of the 5200, but this is the way Chris Craft did it, and anybody who knows a Chris Craft 17-foot Sportsman who looks at the bilge will look for these screws, and we will replace them all, so when that person looks, the screws will be there.
At this point, to keep the 5200 from going in those, I've gone inside with a size number 10. It actually seems pretty big, but they were here somewhere, over here. But I wanted them to just barely start into the wood from the bottom and not expose their point up top here, so I had to use an actual pretty big screw to just start it in to plug each hole. And I went down both sides and plugged every one of them holes. So when this is all 5200'd, and the boards are back on it, I'll back those out and install the little number 6.
So our next step is to give her a shave and then 3 coats of Clear Penetrating Epoxy Sealer. The planks, the mahogany planks are, as with everything else we found in this boat, are in almost as new condition. So we will scrub the inside surface a bit, let it dry, and then those planks will be sealed on all sides, front, back, and edges, and butt ends, and slant ends, with 3 coats of CPES, at which point we'll be ready to lay down a modified version of a true 5200 bottom. So that's where we are on the 1959 17-foot Chris Craft Sportsman. We wish you a Happy New Year and great boating in the spring and next summer and beyond. Bye-bye for now.